Hey guys, what's up? Caleb Downing here, and today we are going to go over some HiTec Arms SD suppressors. Let's get into it. My relationship with HiTec, I have purchased some of their suppressors before, and then as they came out with their Gen 2, they sent me their Gen 2 suppressors. So I have paid for some of them I haven't paid for. I did buy their barrel, so some stuff I've bought, some stuff I haven't. If that skews my opinion, well, so be it, but it doesn't, because I always give you guys a fair shakedown as best possible as I can. All right, we are not in our regular spot. That should be fairly obvious. We have some people over there shooting, so hopefully when it comes time to actually shoot these things, it won't get too annoying. Hopefully you can hear me. A little bit of wind too, so hopefully it's not messing with the mic too much. HiTec Arms suppressors. What are they? Specifically, what makes them different than other suppressors? The thing about these suppressors, they are SD suppressors, meaning they go over the barrels. Hopefully they're not gonna fall off here. They go over the barrels of an SD style barrel. Hopefully you can see in here that this barrel has cutouts in it, ports, very similar to those of an MP5 SD. So the whole idea behind these is that you have a barrel that takes supersonic ammunition, and as that projectile goes through the barrel, passes those ports, it bleeds off the pressures and gases, slows the projectile down, and or doesn't allow the projectile to speed up to supersonic speeds. Then with the aid of a suppressor that goes over that barrel, it captures all those gases that come out the ports, and the front portion of the suppressor acts as like a normal suppressor and slows down, cools down, holds those pressures and those gases, and makes the system quiet. Right? That's the intended design. HiTec, they make their own barrel, or I believe they have it made, and then they make their suppressors. The suppressors that we have on here right now, these are their Gen 2. I'm not sure exactly if they're calling them Gen 2, Gen 1, however it is, but these are slightly smaller in diameter. These are about 1.5 inches in diameter. Okay, I think I may have missaid that on some different things. Their older suppressors, we'll hold these things up. Their older suppressors are thicker, right? This guy is thicker. Hopefully we can see that if we hold these two up. We have the new one over here, which is 1.5 inches, and then the old one, which I don't remember the exact measurement, but it is larger. After talking to the guys over there at HiTec, it's my understanding that the old design, even though it is bigger, larger in diameter, it's very close to their newer generation. However, their newer generation, just because of supply lines and how everything has worked out, this is what they intended to design in the first place. They had to come out with this one first, the Gen 1, larger one. Now they have the Gen 2, the smaller one. And from everything that they're telling me, the Gen 2 should actually sound better. They updated the front cap, and they updated a couple different little things in there, but little things in suppressors, when you update them, I know enough about this stuff to get me in trouble. Let me preface it and say that. But little changes can make a big impact, right? So even though this guy is smaller in diameter than their old generation, it sounds just as good, if not maybe better, depending on the ammo, depending on the host that it's on. So they didn't sacrifice quality or sound quality whenever they went to a smaller diameter. That was one thing I was a little bit concerned about whenever I did get the newer cans, is that they were smaller diameter, but I'm not noticing any degradation in the sound quality. So they do have two offerings that they actually have right now. Let's put these older suppressors away. I'm still going to use them. They still sound really good. And let me just say this. If you have an older one of their suppressors, don't worry about it. They are very good suppressors. The only reason I would upgrade personally to their Gen 2 is if you have a handguard that Gen 1 won't fit in. Right, because it is thicker. The Gen 2, right, they fit in a lot of handguards that the Gen 1 won't, because it's larger. 1.5 inch diameter is a lot more common and easy to find handguards you can slip that suppressor under. The two suppressors that they have are a 9-inch and a 12-inch, right? Hold these guys up, you can see them just like that. Honestly, as you would probably expect, the 9-inch is going to be louder than the 12-inch. It's just science, basically. However, in my opinion, the 9-inch is going to look better, because here's a great example. This is a build that I put together with a new Frontier Armory lower. This is a G5 lower. They did send me that, and then a Broad River Tactical handguard and barrel. The 12-inch suppressor is going to go on here, and it is going to sound the best, just like that, but he does stick out more, right? So if looks is what you're really into, then that 12-inch, even though he's going to sound better, sorry about the wind, that 12-inch, even though he sounds better, he's not going to perform, or the 12-inch is going to perform better. It just may not look as good. This 9-incher is going to look way better. He's just not going to perform as well. Enough talking about this. Let's shoot it a little bit. I got 3 different hosts, 2 direct blowbacks, 1 from Broad River Tactical, 1 from HiTec Arms. Barrel lengths are the same. Porting is different. And then I have a Broad River Tactical radial delayed system. This guy is fire. This guy is awesome. All right, so let's a little demo here. All supersonic ammo, 115s and 124s, all supersonic, but this should dummy them down. You'll notice on some, especially on the direct blowbacks, you will get some supersonic cracking at some point. And generally, my understanding that has a lot to do with elevation and temperature. These companies are both in the lower 48. I'm in Alaska, so temperature, elevation, things are a little bit different, and that does affect velocities and that transonic threshold for supersonic to subsonic velocities. Enough nerdy talk, let's shoot. All right, we got 5 115s and 5 124 grainers, and this is with the 9-inch can. I know I can definitely hear the difference there. Those 115s, they're faster, so they're right there pushing that sound barrier. 124s is where it's at, and all these 124s are where it's at. Generally, those are going to be supersonic, but these guys dummy them down. All right, same suppressor, same ammo, 124s and 115s. 115s first, but this is the direct blowback from HiTec Arms. This is their barrel. Everything's bouncing all over the truck, probably sounds like a drum. Again, 124s are gonna sound better. I think the HiTec Arms direct blowback barrel sounds better and works better. Their porting is a little bit different. I think it works better. So for direct blowback, HiTec's the way to go. All right, so now I don't know the French word, the cream of the crop, basically. This is the radial delayed blowback from Broad River Tactical. It utilizes some different pieces and parts. This guy's awesome. These again, 115s and 124s with the short 9-inch HiTec Arms suppressor. The telling thing there is it's hard to distinguish the 115s and the 124s because they're both well under that supersonic threshold. Sounds really nice. Yeah, this is the best setup that I've found so far. But again, using the HiTec Arm suppressors and then the Broad River Tactical radial delayed system. All right, let's put the long suppressor on and I'll show you the difference. All right, here we go. 12-inch suppressor, 5 115s, 5 124s. This is the direct blowback Broad River Tactical barrel. All right, here we go. All right, HiTec Arms direct blowback barrel, again, 12-inch suppressor. I can pick up the difference. I don't know if the camera can, but I can. Now, the best of the best, let's do that RDB. All right, 12-inch suppressor, 115s, 124s. Let's see how this goes. And this is the RDB. If I said that earlier, that means radial delayed blowback. And that's because this uses the CMMG radial delayed system. All right, here we go. absolutely the quietest system that I have. Absolutely rivals my suppressed 22s, and the fact that most of the noise that you're hearing is action noise and brass falling on the ground. Crazy quiet. This one, crazy quiet, specifically because it uses that radio delayed system. Just like an MP5 SD would use, or even an MP5 uses a delayed blowback system, they're going to sound better, right, than a direct blowback system. These suppressors can be used, is my understanding, if you do have an MP5 SD. These can be used on those systems. They have the same threading, the same everything that they should plug in and play. So if you have an MP5 SD, these would be a suppressor that you could use, and they're user serviceable, all that kind of stuff. Definitely something to look at. We had a Jam-O-Matic. Here we go. We had ourselves a malfunction. Imagine that. Firearms malfunction sometimes. Here we go. 124s.